speed through the door. He has no idea what's going on. He's got music at 200% from Spotify going on, you know, and then they rush through the door. You rush through the door, you get walled off, he's on the other side, and that's GG.
Yeah, he's listening to Underwater Squad, man.
Probably.
He's busy channeling.
Well, no Magos, I don't think. Maybe just normal goes from either one. I would like to see Buds actually stick on the Sombra. Like you said before, Sombra is an alien hero that can shut down tanks, but the issue is with Sombra, you do get run over pretty fast, and the ult tank charge rate is almost second to none. Sombra does take a little bit of time to actually do that. It doesn't like Buzz is going to run out with it, but they're going to head straight into 3-3.
Yeah, and Bud's just a pretty stellar hit scan, so I can't wait to see how his tracking is going to be on those smaller targets who are a bit more vulnerable. That's a huge anti-vote, Jaws.
Pika, you got to be careful, although they seem undeterred as they kill Remix first. King finding the first blood of the game, and with all 3 threes for any team comp you go against with a Lucio, and if you lose one member, you're going to get sped on, so it does look like Skyfoxes are just going to exit rather quickly and regroup on the point. However, because Remix went down so fast, Harry, they're going to be able to contest the point first.
Yeah, not even Cat coming through. Remix is going to put his shield right up there. King's going to be moving in onto him, and he will get that projected barrier. Doesn't look like it's going to be an all-out brawl, and Remix is down again. Oh, that might be a little bit of a connection issue there from Jaws, so we'll keep on going. At the moment, we do have a difference in flex supports when it comes to Nishik and Lastra. Nishik's opting, of course, for Zenyatta, and this is often what you see in a 3-3 versus 3-3 composition because of the ability of the Discord Orb to come through and give extra damage onto those vulnerable targets like a Reinhardt, because if you can take them down 30% faster, that's a huge boon for your team. And I think we actually have Jaws back. Welcome back, buddy.
You're going to be okay.
Oh no, maybe not. Anyway, we'll continue.
I am not. Okay. Something happened in Aerobox Box.
It's all gone wrong, but it's all going right now for Duplicate. Lays down 2 on the floor, but Bud's going to try and answer with the MP, but out of range was Nishik. Will bring forward Transcendence. He's going to push forward with Phase 2 to try and keep everyone alive and keep control of the point as well. It's Onyx still hacked, has the grab in his back pocket should it be required, but for now, Skyfox is getting rolled over by Phase 2 as they move up to 51% towards the capture here on Mecha Base.
I might be okay. Am I alive, Harry?
Yes, he's back.
Inside,
Mr. Destructoid is gone.
Inside, I'm not alive, but on the outside, I look pretty chubby. Okay, 62%. I didn't miss much. Okay. Oh my. Well, I missed a couple of ults actually going off. Bud's actually using the EMP at the end. Although, right now, does look like they have got the Transcendence to match. No, sorry, the Sound Barrier to match coming up for Mako against Onyx, who has that Graviton Surge.
Oh, Duplic's going to back off now. It's going to be Phase 2 conceding some space so they can defend on the point right now. Skyfoxes, they're going to try and leverage the high ground to get that free poke. That's exactly what Phase is going to do, but opening up with the Graviton Surge is Onyx. We have actually lost Jaws again, I do believe. Fast falling low there, being a victim of a biotic grenade, but Max can come in. Sound Barrier has been applied. Lord of Overshield for everyone on Skyfox. They try desperately to win out this last fight, but no. Duplicate's going to put their hopes in the ground with that Earth Shatter. Buds will come in with yet another EMP, and he's going to get a load of people from Phase 2, but he doesn't have the damage to follow it up. That will be a dominant performance from Phase 2 on our first map of Busan.
Okay. Discord keeps crashing.
Return of the Jaws.
But we should be in game. It's okay. I should. I'm glad I missed the entirety of that first round, Harry. It looked like it went pretty well for Skyfoxes. Wait, no, Phase 2 actually rolled them.
Yeah, Skyfoxes may have a bit more star power on their roster, but it seems like Phase 2 are far more coherent in their strategy. Just keep forcing the attempt to make that Ana work. Wasn't working out at all for Skyfoxes. They were just lacking so much in the burst that you need to apply to these main tanks.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, the EMP works against the tanks. The problem is the tanks on the other side are going to farm out rather fast against your EMPs, so you've got to be more careful. A little bit different though. King actually on the Pharaoh. We're going double DPS, Harry. We're going 2-2-2.
Yeah, we're seeing double monkey as well. Both Winston's going to be brawling out here in the center. Remix already used his shield, which means Duplicate can lay his down slightly later. It's already gone down, but will protect his team from a bit of poke from Attitude, who's decided to take a position above a point to lay down the long-range poke. He's got to watch out for Onyx, though, who's going to be on that very typical Widow spot behind his team.
Oh, Onyx does take a body shot, but he's okay. They're actually going up to the high ground. Not sure about this one, Harry. You're literally running into like 4 fire rockets, like over and over and over again. King at only 29% though. Birds actually takes the head clean off of Onyx. Mastro's going to find the head on Pika as well. Attitude now is going to rule the roost. He hasn't got a Widowmaker to worry about really. Point is going to be unlocked of course, and Faz taking the solo kill on the Lucio might be able to get a cap. However, the rest of Skyfoxes are going to join in them and force him off.
The slow approach here really working out for the side of Skyfoxes. They trusted that Buds would be able to outsnipe Onyx, and that's exactly what he did. Hitting the headshot, opening the fight up, and when you don't have to worry about those Widowmaker angles, that's when you really can take control of the fight.
Nope, both Mercies popping that ultimate. Valkyrie for a lot of damage. Boosting coming through as that Transcendence as well. Gotta be careful though, Duplicate in the background, trying to pay attention to Buds. Buds got knocked up into the air, still killed King somehow. That Primal Rage at Winston actually helped him in this case. Well, Mercy is going to donate herself to the train. Baz tried to do the same thing, but Bud's actually splattered his brains all over the railroad tracks instead. 30% now on the board for Skyfoxes.
We just got to appreciate that Bud's just got 2 picks and opened up a fight while also having Duplicate all over him. Duplicate just invested the entirety of his Primal Rage to knock Buds around. Actually knocked Buds into the air so that he could get a good shot onto the Pharah. And then he also managed to take out Faz across the map as well. The entire time, Mac was giving him all of the healing. Attitude didn't have anything to worry about because of the
I don't have grapple. Please knock me in the air so I can kill your Pharah. Thank you very much. There's the beat coming through from Faz. Is he going to be able to push everybody forward? King goes extremely low on the traces. Got to be a little bit more careful than that. However, meanwhile, does it like Skyfoxes are going to ignore the point completely and let Faz cap. FaZe is going to unleash the self-destruct, killing Faz actually from somewhere. King's still on the high ground trying to contest the Pharah, but Tracer holds pistols versus the Pharah high up in the sky, not working out too well for him. And Skyfoxes finally reconvening onto the point after giving 20% up, are going to find the recap.
Onyx gave a little tap, but he wasn't stealth, so could not contest. And basically, Buds was free for the entirety of that fight, just do as much damage as possible. Duplicate tried for the leap, but he misjudged it a little bit, and he actually hit the window, just gave a little bit of slobber on the side of there, and Buds was then untouched the remainder of the fight. Because, of course, King and Onyx suffer so heavily from damage fall-off that basically only Nishik can exchange blows with Buds. No, I won't be exchanging any Eviscerate, though.
I was about to say, you gotta be a little bit more careful than that. This was like, is he still there, guys? I don't know. He's got Infosight. Should I poke my head out? No? Well, I'm dead anyway.
Just give it a peek.
He's got the EMP, mate. Let's hope that actually works out for the side of phase 2. They'd use it on the back line, and there you go. Insta-kill onto the Zenyatta. Self-destruct gets thrown in as well. 96%, and Mac is going Battle Mercy. However, he's going to find the res, puts the pistol away for the time being, and Nistic having to use that Transcendence to actually get onto the point now.
Faz has returned. Question is, will he be able to make anything work right here? Attitude's been hacked, so he's going to be playing Ground Pharah for a little while, but he has a Transcendence at his back. That's a lot of survivability for a very dangerous Rocket Queen. We may well have lost Jaws again, so let's continue. The Hammond has returned to the point. Pika's going to be rolling around, trying to keep this in overtime, moving in with that pile driver. Will have Lastro in his sights, but is quickly taken down. Onyx manages to finish off that kill, but will not finish this round. Skyfoxes will even it up on Busan. And while we fix Jaws' connection issues, we're going to be moving over now on to Sanctuary, and this is a map where we can see very varied compositions. In the World Cup, we actually saw France bring out a McCree composition here alongside of Reinhardt. In our previous match, we saw a combination of Widowmaker and Pharah on both sides, and of course you can have the classic 3-3, which is often shown by many teams here. But we'll have to see what our two teams bring out. Skyfoxes for now hovering over the classic 3-3. Meanwhile, phase 2, they're showing something a little bit more interesting. A Sombra Tracer dive coupled with a Winston. And they don't have a Brigida here. They are going to be relying on the classic dive support of Lucio and Zenyatta to lay down that long-range damage with the Orbs of Destruction and the Discord Orb. The King's actually going to go back. They're going to swap up here after phase 2 to the classic Reinhardt Goats. I thought we had Jaws back, but we do not, so it's going to be moving forward now. Remix has taken pole position on the point due to the earlier engagement. And here, phase 2 know that they can probably win out this fight because Lastro is going to be coming in with the Ana. There won't be a Discord Orb for Duplicate, and as you can see, Remix falling first yet again. He gets the Discord Orb, and then Duplicate, he's free to swing forward. An attempt at the Biotic Grenade will give Onyx and the King no healing available, but they do have a position of a point once again. Phase 2 here. They went back, they played the mind game, they have a look at what they were up against. Played incredibly smart and quickly managed to take control of the fight using that Discord Orb to win out that 3-3 duel. And here I want to see Lastro give up his ultimate charge on the Ana to potentially maybe try and move over to the Zenyatta more quickly. This did do Skyfoxes on their earlier approach towards Mecha Base to not be able to work with the Discord Orb for a long time. It very much managed to mess up their old economy. Rally coming out from Attitude. We'll try to move forward here. We'll be giving FaZe some of that additional armor. Remix once again has been afflicted with the Discord Orb. Duplicate's going to charge on forward, trying to get some extra damage in here, but does have a Bonic Grenade afflicted, so we'll have to be careful where he is going. We'll manage to pick up Onyx, however, this could be the opening that Skyfoxes needed. They invested both the Nano Boost and the EMP to make sure that FaZe 2 could not survive this. Still some problems from Jaws. Apologies, ladies and gentlemen. And now Skyfoxes will remain in control. FaZe 2 managed to get all the way up to 46% right now. So we're about halfway to a full cap. There's still a lot of time for both of these teams to try and play the alt economy game. Opening up with a Graviton Surge is FaZe 2. They're going to try and make this Earth Shadow work. Remix going back will manage to get the pin onto Duplicate. That's exactly what they needed. This now means that the friendly Zarya in FaZe is free to try and farm off the bodies of the opposition to FaZe 2 to get up towards that next Graviton Surge rather quickly, which he has a significant premium over Onyx on. He's about 60% ahead of Onyx, so that's going to come out a lot sooner. And I feel like FaZe 2 they're a little bit quick to attack with that Graviton Surge.
I think you're right, Harry.
Oh, there we go. He's back. Take a breath, dudes. We take a breath.
Things start breaking as soon as I actually want to do anything. I'm not entirely sure. I'm not going to lie. But Sombra is still kind of working out, Harry. 50% on the board. Duplicate has that shadow. Problem is, Irix working up towards us as well. He comes through from the side of FaZe 2, but that's self-destruct launch straight to the back line. Mac is going to go down. Lastro's going to follow. Why Remix firing the come-up-and skill onto King. Actually finds another one onto Faz as the Transcendence comes out to try and negate all that damage. The grab was there. No real follow-up, but the issue is Duplicate is still alive on the point, hacked or not.
Faz Arshel, a typical player, managed to boot the enemy Reinhardt out of the way to reveal everyone to the self-destruct and get that duo kill there. But of course, Remix with the Nano Boost was a bit too much power for the side of FaZe 2 to really stand up against. Faz has once again been picked off with a Bionic Grenade and the stun.
You don't want to do that against an Ana, dude. You have to play behind the shield. You get naded. That is pretty much donezo for the Lucio. 87% though for Skyfoxes. Well, yeah, 10% away from taking the first map. FaZe 2 had to get back to the point quickly. Duplicate switching over to the Hammond. They got to touch fast, Harry.
And no space is going to be given away. That's going to be an early Graviton Surge. Everyone
what a horrible combo. Graviton Surge into the EMP with the rally on top. Thank you very much, says Remix. Swings into it, gets himself a double kill. Duplicate gets hacked on point and destroyed. Skyfoxes are going to take that one 99-46. Valiant attempt, but Buds, he's a monster on the hit scan, and he's a monster on the Sombra as well.
And crucially, Skyfoxes managed to make this work while also forcing their Ana composition. They didn't have to move over to that Zenyatta like I suggested would be more appropriate. It did mean often that Remix was taking a little bit more damage than Duplicate when you look at those doors, but I feel like Buds really did support him well, did make sure that he was placing his hacks in the right positions to really take apart the synergy of a 3-3 composition classic.
The classic 3-3. Gets... It's funny though. Well, there's Brigitte play the game for you. She held left click and pressed W, Harry. What more do you need?
Yeah, man. Press W, hold left click, just keep doing damage, get that rally, get a huge amount of armor. Speaking of which, we are currently on the patch where it does fade away, so it's not so much of a snowball ultimate as it was before.
Yeah, it does kind of feel nice not knowing that the Zenyatta and the Zarya don't have that armor underneath the shields as well. And you can kind of one-clip the Zen when you are with something like a Tracer. It feels bad when you're the Zenyatta in that instance, though. Not gonna lie. The amount of times I get one-clipped by Tracers now is actually ludicrous.
It's a great boon for Sombra, though, especially if you're sort of like poking at a fight after rally is dissipated. Does mean you're going to be doing quite a bit of worrying damage towards a Zenyatta, because previously when you had the rally armor from Zenyatta, or when you have the rally armor at all against the Sombra, you know that if you get EMP'd, you have that armor that's not stripped away under you. You still have 150 HP. And 100 of that HP is armor, which of course you do half damage to with Sombra's SMG. Oh, and phones are going off. And yeah, that does mean that you have to be a lot less scared about the Transcendence wiping you off the map. So it really does change how Zenyatta's think about approaching a Sombra.
Hello, Harry. This is phase 2. We need a counter for Sombra. Yeah, we're not sure how to do it. Yeah, okay, cheers, mate. I know you're on cast, but like, come on. Hit us up. I mean, at the end of the day, Buds was just consistently getting off the EMPs. There's like absolutely no way you can you can play around that if you're not seeking out that Sombra like ASAP. You need something like a McCree to obviously stop her from farming, like stunning her and then instantly killing her. But Buds was just making so much space for his team also. You just run to the back line, you put a Translocator somewhere down on the health pack, and then you just kind of pepper at the Zenyatta, pepper at the Ana, the Lucio or the Brig. Unless they like dive towards you using a speed boost, there's like no way you're going to catch it.
I actually saw a pretty cool bit of tech from, well, I wouldn't really call it so much tech as it was just Bud's mind gaming phase 2 on that last point of Sanctuary. We actually saw Buds throw a Translocator over the central drum while he was being aggressive. And we actually saw a little bit of an aggressive push from the enemy Reinhardt to go and destroy the Translocator. But when they went to go and destroy that Translocator, that's when Buds could get around the back and get a couple of hacks around the shield. So forced Reinhardt's positioning to try and deal with that Sombra cooldown. But at the same time, Buds wasn't actually overextending that far himself. So should he have been aggressed upon, he could have been speed boosted out. There could have been a movement from the Reinhardt to try and protect him. So that was a pretty smart bait and switch.
You just feel useless. Like you said before, one person from Goats dies, and that's pretty much all over. And you're basically dead anyway if you're Reinhardt when you're hacked. Let's be honest with ourselves. You're basically done for. Does it look like we're going to King's Row, our second map? Everybody is ready? We're ready. I'm sure the chat is ready too.
We're going home, Jules. We're going home.
Finally.
King's Row, personally, my favorite map. I think you can run a huge amount of different compositions here. We have seen a couple of Orisas so far. I wonder if iRemix will bring that one out. I wouldn't doubt it. I think iRemix has got a pretty good Orisa. The question is, what would you play alongside it? We do know that Buds has, historically, a pretty formidable Junkrat. But mostly you'd see Junkrat on something like maybe Horizon Lunar Colony alongside a Junkrat instead of King's Row. Maybe we'll see an Ashe or a Widowmaker instead.
You can still run the Junkrat. I mean, why not? You put Orisa up on the high ground. You have the Junkrat there. Then you have a trap under your feet. Anybody that dives into you, they die because they run into the trap, plus Orisa left-clicking that whole time you're jumping towards them. They run Goats, you just left-click on the point. Harry, it's perfect. Have we just found the true counter to Goats? No, we have not. Junkrat is not the answer, unfortunately. Sorry, ZP. I know you said that was the answer all the way back in Season 2 to me, but
back in Poland.
It didn't come to fruition, mate. It's a bit of a rip from me.
Little bit of a rip, but we'll have to see if what phase 2 will bring out will be the counter, because Skyfoxes right now showing off once again that Sombreran. I imagine until phase 2 can bring out a solid and consistent counter for it, there's no reason that Buds has to swap off this. Like, Onyx, of course, can land those Graviton Surges, but it's a bit easier to now anyway, especially if you can bait out a Defense Matrix from a D.Va. You've got a very long grace period where you know that won't be available. 2 seconds is basically forever in Overwatch time when you're trying to land one of those grabs.
Oh, 3-3 into the Buds Sombra. Getting a little bit of charge already, but you see that speed boost. As soon as they know Buds has disappeared, they run straight at Remix and FaZe. They went down. iRemix didn't stand a chance. That Amp from Faz doing a good job. They're going to secure the point rather readily. There's no way they can actually recontest. They might try and go for it. They have got the Lucio speed boost, of course, but I'm not sure they've actually got the manpower. 2 ticks have been acquired. Third one's coming up soon as well. Point's going to unlock. And that'll be one fight wonder, actually, for Skyfox.
And Skyfoxes here will not be able to go tank versus tank when they do not have this Discord orb. And I imagine Lastro is insisting on playing the Ana here because they want to combine with Buds' hack. I imagine the playbook here is hack duplicate and then use a Bardic Grenade and then get a clean team fight off of that, but it does seem like often the hack isn't landing or you're not getting as much value out of a Bardic Grenade as you would like.
Ooh, they're going to run on iRemix again. As soon as you see that Sombra disappear, that's what you want to do. Nice nade onto Pika as he was hacked as well, so he couldn't actually have the chance to eat it whatsoever as they move around the streets of London. That Translocator in a bit of a weird position, actually right in front of Remix's shield. Not sure about that one, buddy. Gonna want to move that. Another grenade does land. Faz now in the back line once more. Tried to go Reddit Lucio, but gets bumped straight on the head. That whip shot finishing him off. Remix taking out Duplicate as well. A nice hack, and they're going to be able to stagger Pika a long time here as well. He is full HP, and they got a couple of boops for it.
And often you don't want to nano over Reinhardt when you know the enemy Reinhardt is building up towards that Earth Shadow, because when you nano over Reinhardt and the enemy Reinhardt has an Earth Shadow, your Reinhardt is forced to use shield for a longer time than you would like when you've got that uptime of nano to worry about. But because of the hacks you can get from Buds, it does mean you can not worry about that Earth Shadow for about 6 seconds, and that means you can get the maximum value out of the nano Reinhardt, especially when you're speed boosting as well.
Alright, now they just need to eat Grav. That is going to be the ideal play. There's the grab. EMP comes out as well. Oh, that shatter. King and Onyx aren't going to be able to follow up on that grab. A Transcendence coming through as well from Nishik. No, straight into a grab though. Iron Remix just jumps on their head, starts swinging, even sent out the sound barrier as well to secure the fight. That is punishing if you're the Zen. If you hit that Q too early, man, that Zaya has got a grab right for your face and your team.
And not only that, if you bring out the Transcendence and there's nothing to mitigate it, you can also be affected by the Bardic Grenade, which basically cancels out the Graviton onto those it affects. And that was actually a hero play there by Remix to block a Shatter coming out from Duplicate that could have defended his team while they were inside the grab. Look at this rotation, we managed to catch out Mac, 5 million IQ.
I'm not entirely sure that was a good rotation. I think it was Mac just being out of position. Remix is going to go down as well. No speed boost, no problem. Faz, yeah, now he can go full Reddit Lucio, or almost earned himself a sound barrier. Got a couple of ultimates coming up for phase 2. They have the self-destruct, no Graviton Surge in sight, but Duplicate should be earning himself that Shadow Suit.
Yeah, breakdown in communication there from Skyfox, it would have seen, didn't let Mac know where everyone was coming from, or Mac didn't listen to a call, one or the other. At any rate, he died in phase 2. Basically rolled thereafter. An attempt at a hack to open this one up. I think that may well have been onto Onyx, but it does look like phase 2 for now do have huge territory control as the card begins to move in towards the end. And opening EMP though, Jaws disables everybody.
EMP, it does, but it doesn't disable fast. You send out that sound barrier, that couldn't be cancelled, but the Shatter cancels out everybody's health bars. Instead, Nano onto Remix, runs down the rest of phase 2 just before second point.
Yeah, that was huge IQ from Faz to be able to zone himself away from that EMP and then be able to use the sound barrier afterwards. But of course, when 5 members of your team are EMP'd, they can have as much health as they like, but if you can't lay down the ultimates to try and mitigate a Nano Reinhardt that's rushing into you with speed boost, you are all going to die incredibly quickly. And because of that, Remix managed to also build up towards that Earth Shadow quickly. There was no shield in the way because Duplicate was hacked. It was just a comedy of
that was downtown. Self-destruct up in the air as well. Remix doesn't quite get boot, but Duplicate was able to dispatch of 2 people already. Remix is going to fall as well. That Transcendence at the end. Not sure about that one, Nishik, but it does make sure your team can secure the point.
And it's very important that we do see these downtown grabs because these are the risks you can take. With phase 2, when you know that the enemy team isn't running a Diva, Onyx can actually bring out these surprising Graviton Surges. And they can be surprising because teams are very used to scrimming a 3-3 versus 3-3 now. So they expect these particular approaches to be sort of predicated on when you'd expect a Diva to have defense matrix up. And if you bring in these surprising grabs, that can very much jolt a team's momentum.
Oh, what a beautiful boop. Unfortunately, that Shadow didn't really land on anybody from the side of Skyfoxes. However, they're still using that rally. Phase 2 are surging on forwards. Everybody more than healthy now with that armor. Attitude gets taught in the backline. Instantly gets killed. Fast extremely low. Going Reddit Lucio once again. But armor packs for you, my friend. Another beautiful bio grenade, but no follow-up at all. 2 minutes and 50 seconds on the clock, Harry. No ultimates available for phase 2. There's 3. Looking at 4 almost for the side of Skyfoxes. They end up throwing the EMP out. Bug gets instantly killed, but the rest of Skyfoxes are going to be able to follow up and end the team fight.
That was a perfect EMP, 6-man right there. Even Faz was called out. He was trying to skate up in the air to avoid any incoming fire. And often you will see Lucio is actually skating up on walls during these moments in order to try and avoid Earth Shadow. So of course, it does have a finite vertical hitbox, and if you aren't caught in that, you can follow that up with a sound barrier to try and defend your team while they're stunned. So that's why you often see Lucio staying up on these walls against the 3-3 composition, even if it does mean they're a little bit more vulnerable to outside poke.
Oh, Bud's on the backline again. Does find the hack onto Onyx. That Shadow does land. It lands on 1. That Graviton Surge lands on 3. Remix finding a kill. FaZe finding a couple more. And Bud's cleaning on up. They got a couple ults to work with, but they're only support ults to work with, Harry. That's going to be the main issue here. They got the sound barrier. They got the nano. Maybe the rally as well for next fight. But they're going to run into a grab. They're going to run into a self-destruct and 2 support ultimates as well for phase 2.
And not having that Transcendence does mean that these grabs are very, very deadly. Of course, you can just follow them up with the melee swings of Duplicate and King, potentially when you don't have that much healing coming through. Mac trying to get a couple of cheeky boops in, and Remix quite on his own. Does have a nano boost.
Again, with the nades on the back line. 3 people anti-naded. That is what you want to see from Lastro. If you're not running the Zenyatta, you better be hitting those fat nades. Lastro seals the deal with just the nano, the rally even used by Attitude, and a 1 sweet fire grenade landing onto 3 people.
Oh, they call them last strokes. It's the last thing you'll ever see. Those bark grenades coming out of nowhere. And it's so strange how they're consistently hitting when you do have a diva coming out from Pika. Maybe they're trying to force out that defense matrix by using iRemix's Fire Strike. And you often will eat those to try and deny the enemy Reinhardt ult charge.
What an EMP, straight into a sound barrier though, coming through from Faz. Bio Grenade did land on him, and Duplicate was caught out a little bit worse for wear. There's the Shatter on the floor. King is going to be able to bite back just a little bit, but he's fighting against 4 members of the Skyfoxes. Pika going for the swift reset off of the edge of the map. They got 38 seconds remaining. They got a few rolls to work with. Only their Graviton Surge coming up for FaZe. Skyfox is going to have to make that one stick. Otherwise, they're going to forfeit this round, potentially.
Well, at least Skyfoxes did have to invest quite a lot in that because of Faz's sound barrier. Once again, perfectly avoiding the EMP. Burt is going around the back, deciding who he wants to get the initial hack on. He knows Nishik has that Transcender, so he's going to try and force it earlier, and he succeeds.
Remix's shield so punished by the self-destruct. The Shadow comes down. Lastro's going to hit the floor. Only just was Onyx able to kill him. The Graviton Surge gets thrown in as well by FaZe, but the rest of Phase 2 are going to be able to clean up. Pika just ramming himself in the middle of that crab, doing the damage to the micro missiles. OT is in session. Couple of touches could be on the table for Skyfoxes. A beautiful bio grenade once more onto Onyx. Duplicate trying to find the pin, but only Lastro going down. Main heals go through for Skyfoxes, meaning there's not really much left. Nishik does end up going down, but Remix just on an island, left all alone, had the nano, but nothing more else. Although Duplicate, as I say that, Harry, they're actually turning it around. Skyfoxes managing to find the respawns, in fact, but Pika still fighting. Remix goes down. Onyx is going to be the next target to fall, and Pika just trying all he might to get the last members off of the point, but it's not going to happen. Self-destruct comes through. FaZe is going to hop into a little ball, but Attitude ends up going down to it.
It's a wonderful counterattack here from Phase 2 with their respawns coming in. Max still here, so is FaZe, so the cut remains in contestation. And also, the overtime is active. Going to try and counterattack now with that sound barrier, but here comes an Earth Shatter.
Oh, a Shatter from Duplicate, not quite landing on anybody. And Nishik ends up going down again. They're going to trade supports as Mac ends up falling. Also, this fight is not just over just yet. King ends up going down to Lastro, who popped out on Soldier. No more support for him, and no more push in the pushing the payload for Phase 2. That fight has my brain a little bit warped, not gonna lie. Not entirely sure what happened at the end, but all as I do know is Skyfox are able to hold them. Phase 2 not delivering. Or only just, in fact. I am so confused, Harry. They've got 2 meters remaining.
They didn't deliver the MP, so thus Skyfoxes saved the lives of thousands of Omnics who were living in the Undercity. It's under the Foundry. But yeah, it's definitely a testament to Skyfox's effective target calling, that they were able to pick out targets consistently from Phase 2 in that final fight while they were sort of trying to make their way back into that area. And FaZe, he lived far longer than he had any right to on that Wrecking Ball. I feel like there should have been a little bit more focus onto him, especially when you're trying to leverage the power of the Discord orb that Nishik brings to the party with that Zenyatta. You need to kill this Wrecking Ball, because he also consistently bashes away Duplicate on the Reinhardt, and Duplicate's only got 1 Fire Strike every 6 seconds. If you keep bashing him away, not only is he not in the fray to shield for his teammates, but he also can't deliver the damage he needs to. That means he can't get those Earth Shatters, and Earth Shatters are incredibly important when you look towards the end of payload tract, because inevitably the defenders have to be touching the payloads in order to stop it from moving forward, and that means they're going to be in a position where you can Earth Shatter them.
Duplicate, his brain got turned to mush by the Wrecking Ball. Like-minded at the end of that game as well. I'm not entirely sure how they managed to touch for so long, but it's the Wrecking Ball, man. The Wrecking Ball was the ultimate stall hero. As soon as you saw that grappling hook being, well, his kit being revealed, and you were like, grappling hook, payload, and I have a shield, infinite stall time. That is exactly what popped into my head.
Well, Skyfox is going to try and leverage some DPS picks now. FaZe up in the air with the Pharah. We do actually see triple DPS with double support. Sick solo tank from Remix with a Wrecking Ball, and Faz already being taken up in the air, picked away by the snipers.
Yeah, Faz, we'll blame it on Pink Faz, there's no worries. Remix are going to actually take care of Duplicate as well. As far as doing a lot of work. In fact, actually doing a lot of work as well. Like you said, double snipers, solo tank on Remix. Remix is doing a good job of just disrupting the tanks. You knock up that Reinhardt in the air, there's no way he's going to be able to peel for his back line, and then it's just easy pickings for FaZe and Butts.
Nishik's actually going to swap over now onto this Moira, and this may well mean the enemy team just going to go to Zengos. because Nishik's spawn is now going to move backwards, so he won't be able to get back to that rather quickly and also swap over to the Zenyatta. And here it is. We are just going to see the Zenyatta 3-3 variant. Burt is going to stay on the Widowmaker here, but Duplicate's going to be inherent disadvantage now with that Discord all applied to him.
Duplicate in amongst 3 people. Not sure how long your W key was actually pressed down there, mate. You're going to have to press S at some point. Attitude finds the kill. They are still fighting on the cart, and with Skyfoxes also fighting on the cart, you get a little bit more healing as well compared to phase 2, who are just running at them. King is on the Roadhog, did find a hook, but Defense Matrix to eat the rest of the scrap gun shot. They finally get the payload moving as Skyfox move towards the streets.
I actually think that was pretty smart from the side of phase 2. They didn't allow the cart to get any distance. They knew that they'd just been technically out-compositioned there by Skyfoxes. They knew that they just had to take that fight, play the time for what it was worth, but they weren't going to be able to win it out bar some miracle. So it was good that they didn't allow any distance, and now they're going to get a fair second fight in the mid-stretch of King's Row second.
No, they will. They got 2 support ults. Lashto still has that Transcendence as the rally comes out. There's the Trance. You got to watch out for that grab. Onyx is so low, they had to target him. They end up taking him down. Bud's finding the kill. He's going to earn himself a Graviton Surge almost as well. Only 20% away. Now it's just clean up duty for Skyfoxes. Peak is going to be the last one on the card. Still stalling for time, however. So, you know, a couple extra seconds have been bought. And a couple of ultimates have been brought to the table by phase 2 as well. Didn't use the tank ones in that fight. They still got one more before they can cap, before Skyfoxes can cap second point.
Important to note as well, Buds has now abandoned the Sombra and moved over to the classic Xayah. Faye is going to be on the Diva this time, so it's a classic 3-3 from Skyfox, and with that they're bringing in the Zenyatta as well, so Duplicate once again is going to be suffering from a huge amount of weight and grabs.
That is not what you want to see. There's the self-destruct on the back line. King manages to block for himself, but not his support. FaZe and Nishik end up going down. King is going to follow. Easy fight for FaZe. Wipes the sweat off his brow as they cap second point.
Ironically, if Buds had grabbed everyone with the Graviton Surge instead of having eaten, it may well have been far easier to block that out with the shields that were available to phase 2, but because everyone was strewn around due to the eating of the grab, they got called out. There was no way for Kings to make that commute over to him to block the grab, so unfortunately that was early 2 picks.
Sky high beats coming through from Mac. Did land on the top. Is going to make sure all of his members are a little bit more healthy. Another Transcendence coming out really early from Lastro. Still got to worry about those grabs, although Onyx is a good 40% away. Duplicate is going to be the first to fall in this fight after so many support ults have been blown. Onyx is going to follow him, so 2 tanks down for the side of phase 2. This looks like it's all over for them for the time being. However, they've still got one more push, but look at the ult bank that has been earned by Skyfoxes, Harry.
Oh, this is a huge amount of ultimate charge to be able to use right here. All 3 of the tank ultimates aren't going to have much sustain, however, due to the lack of support ultimates. This could mean that Pika and Onyx can counter-attack with the Graviton self-destruct combo and potentially win this one out, especially given the lack of a sound barrier from Mac right now.
Onyx has got 95%. Doesn't have to really worry about that Transcendence as it was just used, although Lastro's got 20% off. The Shadow hits the floor. That self-destruct's going to get thrown on top of that grab. That's 3 people inside. Only 1 gets caught out because Mac and Remix were already dead. FaZe goes for a quick reset. Attitude trying to do the same thing, but gets caught out by Duplicate. That will be 3 minutes and 30 seconds still remaining for the side of Skyfoxes, and look how many ults they've got to work with.
Well, it was at least a blessing that Buds did not invest for Graviton Surge right there. FaZe won't be able to follow up with burst damage this time, so it'll be down to iRemix to try and make it work, potentially with a pin to deliver the burst damage through Nishik's Transcendence, which is currently building. There it is, he's got it ready. That means that they are ready to respond to a Graviton. Buds, for the moment, going to frontline with that shield, for himself a bit of charge, wants to have that additional energy to do more damage.
There's another spot. Actually's got the rally, man. It's looking very, very dangerous for the side of phase 2. There's the Transcendence. It's going to come out very soon. Lastro's going to be able to keep the rest of his team alive, but I don't think they're actually going to need it. Looks like that grab was all that was said and done for phase 2. iRemix was swinging away. He's going to earn himself another shatter in no time. Couple of meters remain as the ball comes out to stall, but it's not quite enough. Skyfoxes are going to be able to take King's Row.
And we are going to move into our half-time 2-0 up, and once again, it will be the choice of phase 2 as to what they're going to do for their map choice. We're going to be moving over to Assault Jaws, and I'd argue that, well, basically everywhere in Overwatch right now, you can run this 3-3 combination, and there was kind of a doubt in the first stage, Mecha Base. We did see phase 2 win out the 3-3 versus 3-3 because Skyfoxes didn't want to move off the Sombra Ana, their particular variant. and it meant they were consistently losing out in these Reinhardt duels because of the presence of a Discord ult. But it feels like when Skyfoxes have their own Zenyatta, their focus onto duplicate is so much stronger than the focus of phase 2 onto a remix.
So you put that Discord on the Reinhardt, and there's no Zarya to cleanse that off.
Basically has 2 health.
There is no way you're not going to hit amp speed, run into him, hold mouse button 1, and not get a few kills. There's absolutely no way. That's the thing that they're looking out for at the end of the day. A lot of Lucios are going to track these ultimates, but they're also going to track things like the Zarya shields going on to the main tank in order for the Discord orb to get cleansed. They're tracking these amp speeds as well. It very much seems like a very Lucio-orientated game. If he's your caller during the actual match, and he's going to be able to point out these small things, you're going to win out the 3-3 more often than not. I want to see actually where they're going to go. It will be Assault, obviously, being our next map of choice. Maybe something like... I want to say something like Horizon, maybe, or Hanamura might be a good idea. I mean, Hanamura we've seen a little bit in EU, where we've seen Doomfist and Sombra be something more prevalent over 3-3 on the defense. That could be quite interesting, to be honest. Because that
was, however, on the last Doomfist patch.
It was, yes.
The Sparkle is King patch.
Yeah. It was a good era to watch Sparkle play Doomfist. It was a bad era to be anybody that has no mobility.
Yeah, Jules is a Zenyatta player, so he's sort of in 2 minds about how he wants to take the Doomfist nerf. Can't watch Sparkle surviving for more than 5 seconds. What do I do?
I mean, I can watch Sparkle a lot, right? I can watch VODs of him playing Doomfist. That's okay.
That's true. The good old times.
Me playing Zenyatta or Ana and missing Sleep Dart or using Sleep Dart on Doomfist jumping on me and one-shotting me, not quite as fun. I don't know. You can weigh that up yourself. I'm not entirely sure. It does look like we are going to Horizon Lunar Colony instead, so maybe a little bit of Sombra action here as well. Buds, honestly, he's probably going to stick on Sombra. I can't imagine he'll change. This is actually a really good Sombra map too. There's so many hiding spots and few health packs you can retreat to as well.
I'd actually argue that Buds potentially has the skill set here to leverage an Ana. We have seen quite a bit of Ana in EU and across quite a few games as far as I'm aware, because especially on second point, due to those pillars which flank the attacker's entrance, you can just basically aim Bob at one of those and he will be contesting for a very long time while it does a huge amount of damage. And I think Ash's long-range poke here and how quickly she generates Bob using the dynamite in smaller chokes like you have in Horizon Lunar Colony is incredibly easy to leverage. But I'd argue Buds here is like a perfect player because he's got the Sombra.
Wow.
He's got the skill set for the Ashe, and we also know he's good at Junkrat, and all 3 of those are fantastic to play here with an Orisa.
He's the perfect player. He is the perfect man.